So I'm sharing some things that are coming up in my employee wellness classes, and one that we had last week, which is fun and fairly common, but I love that people feel empowered and comfortable and safe enough to share these things in group classes. I asked how everybody did in their meditation, and one of the things that came up was it's very challenging to meditate when there's distraction happening all around you in the house or outside of the house. And yes, absolutely. But part of the meditation practice is really to be able to have distractions not be distractions, because we start to cultivate that practice of being aware of our thoughts and observing our thoughts, as well as observing the experience we're having in life around us. So the sound becomes, I notice a sound, and that's it. There's no like emotional reaction to it, no additional thought pattern that gets started, unless you choose to go there, right? Or maybe somebody comes walking into the room and is making a lot of noises, and instead of it being like, you're just noticing that that's happening. I'm noticing someone is in the room. And then I come back to my breath. So that being said, I do believe that when you are starting a meditation practice, it is more helpful to begin in a space that is less distracting to you as much as possible. Because again, you're learning how to practice. So you're most likely coming from a space where everything does feel very distracting and very alarming, and maybe you are having a lot of different thought patterns going on throughout the day, and you are feeling very like reactive. So creating a space that is very calming and quiet can be more helpful than trying to meditate through distraction. Now, once you reach a certain point in your meditation practice, like I do with a lot of my private clients, I encourage them to up-level that practice and make it distracting, and see how you can utilize all those tools you've been working on over the past, months or years, to recognize A, how far you've come, but B, that these tools really do work in a variety of life experiences. So sometimes I'll just have people meditate to the sound of sirens or dogs barking, or just like a loud, just a loud environment where there's a lot of chatter and like glasses clinking and just all of this stuff, and notice what happens. And most of the time what happens is that you kind of can sense a little agitation in the system at first, and then you come back to your tools, you come back to your practice, your meditation practice of, I am here, I am breathing in and out, I'm experiencing this, and I hear this, I notice that sound, I notice that sound, I notice that sound. But you're calm and you're present and you're observing. And then if that sound makes your mind go into story, you say, oh, hold on, thank you, got it, come back. And then that becomes the practice. So again, if you're a beginner, I do recommend that you practice in a mainly distraction-free zone, whatever that means to you. And then I encourage you to really open up your meditation practice to distractions if you have been practicing for a very long time, or you just want to, challenge and see how it feels. Then start to introduce distraction. Maybe you go and just sit outside on the sidewalk, or you go to a busy cafe and you find a spot away and you just practice your meditation, but somewhere that, whatever, or you can find, a soundtrack online or whatever of a busy New York street or something like that. So yes, those are my offerings to you. I think it's a great discussion. I'd love to hear your thoughts on meditation with distraction, or how distraction has influenced your meditations before. And the last piece to it is that if you're in a meditation and you feel like you are distracted and you are constantly like, oh my gosh, what's that? And then come back to breath, that's okay. Cut yourself some slack. That's still the practice. So you're doing great.